you don't, if you don't give us what we want, and now, like I said earlier, a lot of those people aren't organized or aren't even doing it in the name of justice. They're just out there stealing stuff. But the overall action that's being taken is putting a gun to the head of capitalism, and it's saying, if you don't budge, if you don't make some changes, if you don't give us what we want, what we need, if you don't treat us like human beings, we're going to pull the trigger. And this is just a threat. And the police have really I've, for the first time in my life, seen police utterly powerless. I mean, I've seen riots before, but this one is just so far stretched across the nation. And to see the police utterly powerless, because the numbers don't add up. There's 370 million approximately people in America. There's 3 million cops or something like that. I'm not sure. I didn't look that number up, but it's definitely, you can't, there's no.
Yeah, it's definitely not balanced.
Definitely not that much. Not even close. Is maybe 1 to 100 people, 1 cop to 100 people or something like that. So they're powerless. And when we're in a state of unrest, there's really nothing that local law enforcement can do about it. And even so, even the military, there's 2 million people and 3 million in the military. I'm not sure. I looked it up a few weeks ago, but definitely not 370 million. So they would have to take some really violent acts towards the people, and that would just make things worse. But okay, so self-evaluate. Be able to put your feet in their shoes. Even those people who are mindlessly looting, even those people who are you look at and you say, oh my God, why is he doing that? This is not help. Being able to even say, I get why you're mad. Yeah, your actions might not be the best, but I get why you're mad. If you can do that, now you started. You started. You're in a good place. You've had a good start. So self-evaluation, and then doing research. We all think we know everything, myself included, right? We all think we know everything, especially smart people. And I know I'm going to butcher this quote, but I believe it was Neil deGrasse Tyson said, the hardest thing about it's really hard. What do you say? It's really hard when you know enough about a subject to think you're right, but not enough about the subject to know you're wrong. So, a lot of times we think we're right, and we know so much that there's no way to say, oh, wait a minute. Whether it's physics like Neil deGrasse Tyson, or it's a subject like race and the history of race. Because we all know so much about it, but we've never really done the research. So I'd say watch different podcasts. Like, for instance, my sister has a podcast. She can be a bit hard to digest sometimes, especially for people who aren't Black, white people in particular. It can be a little bit hard to digest sometimes, but her she's her stuff. China Fox. She's part of an organization. Yeah. She's one of the founders of the OACs called the Omni-African Collective. Also, there's a guy.
I'll post links to all of this that we talk about in the show notes, so you don't have to be perfect in remembering them.
Okay, and another guy. There's quite a few that are really not coming to my mind right now.
Yeah, you had mentioned earlier Diallo Kenyatta.
Yeah, Diallo Kenyatta. He's a very bright dude. He's very well learned, and he's got some really good stuff online. So doing the research, reading the books, read the autobiography of Malcolm X. Read read some Bobby E. Wright. He's a black psychologist who was very prominent in the late 60s and 70s.